Some people may say that this is crazy, and some people may say it's good. I personally don't really give a shit. I think it's whatever. I think it's cool. I mean, the Grammys have totally just, I don't even know what the fuck to say to that. I think I'm gonna have to do a separate video to that. Just the nominations alone is fucking insane of what is not mentioned. But for Drake basically to have his diss record be nominated, it already breaks history because you never had a diss record that's we personally know it's a diss record. You know what I mean? Be nominated for a Grammy. That's just like if Ether or Takeover or Hit 'Em Up was considered for a Grammy. You know how crazy that shit would have been? You know what I'm saying? But it's like the way I look at it, people turned the song, it just became more than what it was. Like if it just would have dropped, and we love the song. I like the song. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You know what I mean? Of course, it ain't on no level of Ether or Hit 'Em Up or Takeover. That's a different era. This is a new era, and this era of music, it's kind of dope. You know what I mean? Because if you break down what he said, it was like, wow, someone say he ain't really say nothing that important, but it kind of hurt that nigga career in a way. But I mean, it's a Grammy now. I mean, either way, even if he don't win, it's like that's a mark in history of 2015 for what Drake has done, in his career in this year. Not to discredit any other artists, far as Kendrick, J. Cole, Wale, Lupe, Earl Sweatshirt, so many other people. But you have to admit this goes along with his legacy because when he's not a rapper anymore or in music business, we gonna still remember like, yo, remember when that fucking back to back was nominated for a Grammy? That's just crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad at it. I don't think that the Grammys are trolling us, but I think we already can predict who's gonna win, you know, and I think that certain people based upon winning the award, I'm not saying they don't it's not like warranted, but let's just say some fuck ups happen in one ceremony, so they're trying to make up for it in another ceremony. But I'm gonna leave that for what I think about the Grammys as a whole this year. But I mean, shit, it is what it is. This song is dope. When you first fucking heard it, charged up, you wasn't as amped. And when Back to Back came out, you didn't expect it. It was like, oh my god, everybody went crazy. Like that's the crazy part about the song. Cause when I heard it, I instantly was like, holy shit. Like the first reaction you get when you first hear it, like the Twitter finger line, it was over with. Because we know Meek was staying his ass on Twitter and Instagram and shit. It was over with. And then I actually seen somewhere on Twitter, if you decipher the lyrics, it's just like saying if Tupac did hit him up against Marvin Gaye and Marvin Gaye did this song towards Tupac. Think about it like that. Like you get embodied by a singing nigga. You see, like, yeah, the way they wrote it, I'm probably not saying it right, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? They consider Drake throughout his career to be a singer instead of a rapper. You know what I mean? So I think it's crazy. And then of course you got the people that went on Meek page and just troll the fuck out of him with the trophies, and it's like, yeah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But still to this day, it's like we're gonna remember Meek Mill, the reason why he's taking the L. Everybody responded but him. Everybody. You got your boss now dissing him for promotion for his album. You had your boys in Dream Chasers district. You put out some bullshit record and took it down. You still haven't responded. And it's like, okay, great. We're still rooting for Meek. I know I am. I mean, I think he looked like a clown at the little VH1 shit sitting there with Nicki Minaj, and that's not helping her career none. Let me just sidetrack real quick. Let me sideboard real quick. Your brother was just in the news for basically being a pedophile, and you bailed him out of jail. Then somebody says that women should be. Who said that shit? I posted on Instagram. I think, who was it? Queen Latifah or somebody like that said that she's an inspiration for black women everywhere, I guess. And then it's just like you make Meek Mill just look so fucking soft. Like, did y'all watch that VH1 shit? I was sitting there like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, really? They really saying this about Nicki Minaj? I'm like, this is bullshit, right? Come on. Like, I mean, I bought the album. It was crazy. I agree. She rapped more and people dislike the album, but that's another story. And then she looks over at him and says, I love you, baby. Like, what? Like he ain't even recovered from like the song. Everybody's doing music. Like like I'm confused. Like you should be looking at this nigga like you could have easily took a stab at Drake, but she didn't do it. You know what I mean? But that's come on, man. Meek, get the fuck in the studio and drop this music. But we don't care anymore. Definitely don't want to hear that fucking D4 Dream Chaser 4 and next year I don't want to hear his rap. It's too long. You know what I mean? Whatever. But I mean, shout out to Drake though. You know what I mean? I think his album, either if his the album, you know, if you're reading this too late, get nominated or not. I don't really think he gives a fuck because it was supposed to be a mixtape anyway. The situation with him and DJ Drama that went down, and that's why it wasn't a mixtape. You know what I mean? So I don't think he really counts that as an album. For what I hear, he's not counting that as an album. He's counting views from the sixth, his fourth, you know, album for the deal. He's with Cash Money. So I mean, it is what it is. It was a moment. You know what I mean? And if he does get a nod for or a Grammy for that album, I think that's fucking incredible because it's like that shit was still better than a lot of people's music that came out this, you know, year as far as rappers, not lyricists, and it was basically some throwaway music that he didn't give a fuck about, and it still killed a lot of people original shit. People forget that. Nobody's still mentioning that. That was shit he was just basically gonna not fuck around and get. Then they used the ghostwriter shit. It's like, all right, well, we bought Rick Ross album. What did Rick Ross say about ghostwriting? Right? So if you go and take credit from Drake, you got to take credit from everybody else. The way he threw Trick Daddy and them around, you would think that okay, half the shit that came out on Slip and Slide, Rick Ross wrote. So if that's the case, do we give Trick Daddy credit or Ross? But y'all let me know what y'all think. I went everywhere with this video, but yeah, this shit is crazy. I think I'm gonna talk about the Grammy shit though. Give me a minute. One.
Oh man.